Chapter 13. You like him? Lin Nuannuan had wanted to sleep in separate rooms, but Bai Di gently refused. Although our cave has a wooden door, it can be pushed open from the outside with a little force. If someone rushes in here to try to do something to you and I'm not with you, you'll be in danger. Lin Nuannuan tried to argue. This is the wolf tribe. There wouldn't be any cases of burglary. Even so, that doesn't mean every wolf here is good. There's bound to be some bad apples among them. Today, you were almost eaten by a spider. Every time I think of that scene, I'm terrified. I have to guard you to be at ease. Lin Nuannuan was touched by how much Bai Di cared about her. She finally acquiesced and agreed to share a bed with him. As she slowly fell asleep, she suddenly felt something hard pressing against her waist. Lin Nuannuan was jolted awake. There were no lights, and because it was nighttime, it was too dark to see anything clearly. She simply grabbed the odd stick. The heat and the slippery feel of it puzzled her. From behind her, Bai Di's guttural voice was heard. Burrow. He seemed to be trying to suppress something, like it was both painful and pleasant. A thought flashed through Lin Nuannuan's mind, and she suddenly understood what was going on. As if struck by lightning, she quickly let go and apologized in a panic. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was your. She couldn't bring herself to say the last word. He hugged her from behind and stroked her ear. It's all right, he said, his voice low and flirtatious. I like being held by you. It's comforting. Lin Nuannuan's face had already turned red. She said shakily, I'd better go next door and sleep. Next door? Are you going to sleep with Xuangyun? Do you like him? He was close to her ear, and she could feel his warm exhales against her skin. Through the darkness of the night, he could clearly see how alluring the little female in his arms was. The suppressed desires in his heart rushed out, eliminating what little rationality he had left. Lin Nuannuan could not see his expression clearly at this moment. The night made it impossible for her to see anything. She had no way of knowing how frenzied and scary he had become once his gentle appearance was stripped away. She instinctively sensed danger. That's not it. I don't like him. I just want to sleep in the other bedroom. He rubbed his hand down her slender waist, his dry, warm palm like a flame that left hot trails on her body. You're lying. You seem to like him. Why else did you risk your life to save him? I really don't like him. Don't do this. I'm scared. Don't do what? He held her a little tighter. This or this? The last syllable was said in a slightly higher tone, revealing a hint of wicked intentions. Lin Nuannuan was both embarrassed and afraid under his torture. She felt the muscles in her body go soft. He gently bit the back of her neck. That was where beasts were most vulnerable. He kissed her skin tenderly, his voice low and mesmerizing. You're so sweet. Lin Nuannuan closed her eyes in embarrassment, not daring to look at the male beast behind her. She wanted to refuse, but she was craving for more. That night, Lin Nuannuan was both happy and miserable. And what she didn't know was that her moans and cries were clearly audible to Xuangyun next door. Xuangyun sat on the ground, his back against the rock wall. He looked down, his expression hidden in the darkness. On the other side of the rock wall was Lin Nuannuan. His naturally acute hearing made it easy for Xuangyun to hear everything that was going on in the next cave, including Lin Nuannuan saying she didn't like him and how she was begging Bai Di to be gentle. He could hear her sweet, seductive moans over and over. When Xuangyun heard Lin Nuannuan say that she didn't like him, he was furious and upset, but her moans made him forget his anger. He became even more bereft. He closed his eyes in resignation as a sense of great loss enveloped him. After a long time, he opened his eyes again. His dark green eyes were bleak, like a puppy abandoned by its master. He called out pathetically, Huan. Lin Nuannuan woke up late the next day. She had been scrubbed clean, and the hide beneath her had been replaced with a clean hide. Everything had been cleaned up nicely as though last night's intimacy was just a dream. She and Bai Di hadn't gone all the way, but he'd touched and kissed her all over. The thought of it made her blush. Lin Nuannuan touched her burning cheek and stared blankly for a while before putting on her clothes and getting out of bed. Bai Di warmed up the soup they didn't finish last night and brought it to Lin Nuannuan. As soon as Lin Nuannuan saw him approaching, she remembered what had happened last night. She blushed in spite of herself and avoided looking at him. When he looked over, she quickly hugged the wooden bowl and sipped the soup. She used this as an excuse to avoid looking at him. Bai Di looked at her gently. I'm going out hunting later. If you need anything, let me know and I'll bring it back for you. Upon hearing that he was going out, Lin Nuannuan immediately put down the wooden bowl and looked at him eagerly. Can't you take me on the hunt with you? It's too dangerous for you to hunt. I won't be able to take care of you throughout the entire time. You'll be safe here. I've asked Wisheng to take care of you. She's a female in the wolf tribe and is about your age. You two should be able to become friends quite easily. He'd learned a lesson from the last time she was in danger in the forest. He wouldn't let her go into the forest again unless he had to. Lin Nuannuan knew that she was too weak. Even if she followed him, she wouldn't be of much help. Sometimes, she might even be a burden. She hung her head low in disappointment. All right, she said in agreement sullenly. He stroked her head. Don't be sad. I'll be back soon. I'll bring you those fragrant and crunchy fruits. I don't want those fruits. I want these few things. If you see them, bring them back for me. She took out the sheepskin illustrated book and picked out several of the plants that could be used as seasonings to show him. Bai Di memorized the illustrations of those plants. He left the bone knife for Lin Nuannuan to defend herself with and gave her a lot of reminders before reluctantly leaving. If it weren't for the fact that he had to store food for winter, he would have stayed by his little female's side and never left. Mu Sheng came not long after Bai Di left. She was a very young female wolf and her skin was a little tanned. However, her eyes were very bright and her smile was very exuberant.